to have Travis come on and join us and talk about chapter visibility.
Hello.
Hey, you good?
I went and got my teaching hat since the last time I spoke, so I'm ready to go
Awesome.
now.
You look great.
All right, thanks. So I've only got 10 minutes here with you. So I want to talk a little bit about chapter visibility, why it's important, and how you can work within your university and your fellow student organizations to achieve it. So visibility obviously is important because you need to convince people that the ALD product that you have, so to speak, is worthwhile. It's something to get interested in. It's an opportunity to take advantage of, hopefully. So one of the things I like to do is just kind of think in my head through what they call a SWOT analysis. Not like a formal write it out and have a 3-hour meeting or something, but in my head, what are some things that, are strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that have to do with our chapter or our organization as a whole. And so a good place to start with visibility in terms of, what message you want to send to your audience is, what are the strengths of our chapter? So what are we doing in our community? What are we doing for our members? What are we doing nationally as an organization? And you'll find great things for that on the website, which I'll show you in a minute. And then you think about your weaknesses. What are some things that people maybe think negatively about your group whenever they hear the name ALD? And I guarantee it's probably all of the millions of emails that they're getting from honor societies trying to offer them benefits that aren't nearly as comparable and amazing as ALDs. And so you get these bad reputations about honor societies as a whole you got to work against. And that's just one example. And you got opportunities like, who are the people on campus you can work with? Who are the people that would, their missions align with yours? And then you could think about threats. So do you have any competitors in the space? Things like that. Yeah, and Eileen posted a good template for that. And that is something I recommend you hang on to. So that's just a starting point in terms of thinking about visibility. I wanted to share a little bit from the website. Again, I know we keep going back to it, but it's just such an amazing resource. And in particular, I'm trying to show the Order of the Torch page. Is that what's up?
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, so if you guys have heard of Order of the Torch, I don't know if your chapters have ever applied for it, but this is a really great place to go if you're just looking for like a template in terms of how chapters are organizing themselves and working on their visibility, because this is a real intentional exercise and developing a brand for your chapter and using that brand to kind of show like what you do step by step as an organization to achieve your goals. And so before I go through some of these examples, if you're on this and you're from a different chapter that hasn't applied, just take note that the application will be available in April 2023. And that you'll have until May of next year to prepare that. So this is it looks at chapter involvement, chapter communication, campus visibility, and presentation. So I thought I would just go to this today and show some examples that have been, considered best practices. So let's say, for example, UMD's monthly newsletters. They use kind of, gather together the narrative of their chapter, what's going on, puts everybody on the same page when they're talking about the place. Same with their email listservs. Social media branding is all consistent. You can see it's intentional. Spotlights, getting to know the members and leaders, you want to be a part of something. And then which one was this one? Hold on. That was Northwestern's. This one, I really like the way that they talked about collaborations, because a lot of times when you go in to try to figure out what your programming is going to be for the year, you think you got to start from scratch and just do everything yourself. But this scrapbook does a great job of detailing the many ways in which they've allied themselves with different groups and causes. I mean, just look at all these different ones. And so each time that they do that, they're forming a partnership on campus that then knows about ALD's name. And when they think about people to work with in the future, they'll think, well, Alpha Lambda Delta was involved with this that one time and they did a great job. I have to show some from my own chapter because it's so amazing. But when we did this scrapbook exercise, the students who did it anyway, they broke down our communications or visibility in the sense of this presentation into websites, email, social, and news media. And I'm going to go through some of those. So in our school, it's important we got to take advantage of all of our different web presences. And so there's several different ones. Our student life has its own web presence for us. The Office of First Year Courses has a web presence for us. And so we got to make sure both of those are maintained and kept up to date with the most recent information. You can see that we post regular updates about chapter members and things going on that's important for people maybe to know. You can see on the other one, we post about events that are coming up and keep our pictures and things on there. So that's, you may have a web presence out there at your university that you may not even know about, and people are going to it and trying to find out about you and just kind of hitting a dead end. So make sure you check that out. Email communication, you could see that when Anna was running this, she did a great job of making it look very professional and neat, such that if someone was to see this for the first time, and they probably would think it's not just some random person emailing them. And then visibility, of course, we try to provide a lot of different opportunities for people to interact with our chapters. So we have Instagram presence, we have a GroupMe group and a Discord. And so each one kind of focuses on a different thing, but that's just how it's matured for us naturally. But visibility can be having multiple angles in which to look in. We also try to inform news media whenever things go out. So a lot of times that's on me asking a professional favor, saying, hey, one of our students accomplished something great. I think EKU Stories should take a look at it. And I'll say, yeah, we'll take a look at it and get it into our writing cycle, and they'll write these things up for us. But I don't think that they would know unless someone forwarded them the press releases and asked. And then they'll forward it themselves on to news media like that. And that raises more awareness about your chapter, because then the university aligns with their mission of making their students look successful. And so again, it's a lot of times whenever you're doing things with other people, it can really help to figure out what their goals are. And for universities, it's showing that your students are being successful in getting scholarships, showing that they're being successful in making it to graduation, that they're having fun, that they're having community. And so whenever your chapter is promoting that for your university, you're doing that your community of service. And so that's why I think at EKU, at least, our school has been so supportive in terms of putting out articles for us and things like that, because we're kind of doing their job for them, ALD chapter here, those of us that are on this meeting today. But yeah, visibility is important, because without it, people aren't going to know what you're trying to sell them in terms of a product. They're not going to know what kind of community you're getting involved with. And really, if you think about visibility intentionally, the way I kind of showed you with these scrapbooks and the way I showed you with the SWOT analysis as an example, thinking about that intentionally in terms of what you want to sell or what you want to be or how you want to be perceived can make you consciously think through a template for how your chapter's run and for how it's viewed by others. That's all I have. Thank you.